right, what's up, folks? So this is Fairsley, the editor of the Bowser Report, the penny stock newsletter. Today I got a pretty exciting announcement for you guys. After a couple of months of going over different ways of doing it and how exactly we're going to hand out prizes, we have settled on launching the Bowser Report investing competition. Okay, now this idea was initially brought to us by a subscriber who wanted it to be, a year-long investment competition, and then, a couple of other people said, you know what, let's do short-term. So even though we are a long-term investment newsletter, we have settled on doing it both ways. Okay, the competition is open to the public. There will be two different aspects of it. One is a quarterly competition, so 3 months. Okay, and the other one will be based off of 1 year, an annual competition, and they will be ongoing, right? After the first quarterly competition wraps up, we'll go into another one. So if you don't win the first time around, you can win later. Basically, the way it works is you pick a stock, right? And if it performs well for this 3-month period, right, this quarterly competition, if it performs the best than any other pick that was out there, then you get a prize. Okay, actually multiple prizes. We'll go over that later in the video. Okay, same thing goes for the annual competition. You submit both picks by next Friday, January 15th. Okay, that's the deadline. They can be the same stock if you are really just all over that one stock. But basically, you pick that stock. If it performs the best, you win. Simple as that. Okay, now just to keep this nice and simple, the deadline is January 15th, okay, the upcoming Friday. The start of it is January 18th. So the stock performance will be measured as of the Monday after that until 3 months later for the quarterly competition. For the annual, it'll just go to the last day of 2021, okay? And again, it's solely based off of performance. It doesn't matter if the company reports good earnings, if the company has a positive headline, it has to positively impact the stock price, right? The market value, okay? Now, you might be asking, well, if it's open to the public, how do I participate? This can't be that complicated. Lucky for you, it's not, okay? Basically, you just have to go to that SurveyMonkey form that we have there, okay? You can type in the link in the URL bar above, or you can just go click it. It's in the video description, all right? So just go to the YouTube video, click the description, and it'll be linked there, and fill out the form. All it asks you, first name, last name, email, 2 stock picks. Okay, again, they can be the same stock, but if you want to mix it up and improve your chances of winning, you can go for 2. All right, they don't have to be penny stocks. They don't have to be large caps. They can be anything. Okay, anything as long as it is an equity. Okay, so for example, if you think an ETF is going to be the best performer for the next year, right? If you think the cybersecurity ETF hack is going to do well, or if you think, one of our old penny stock recommendations, Rada, is going to be the best one. You pick whichever one you want, submit it in that form, and that's it. It shouldn't take more than 30 seconds. Okay? So if you're not sure about it, if you're on the fence, just give it a try, right? We'll have the 3-month and the annual competition. And again, there will be prizes. Now, briefly, before we go over the prizes, okay, wanted to mention that you should do some due diligence, right? Don't just throw a dart and see where it lands. We did release a video recently on YouTube, how to pick a stock, and basically it's how to scan for stocks using different free resources. So you don't need to have thousands of dollars invested in a platform in order to do this. It could be anybody who has access to the internet and wants to dabble in stocks, okay? I'm assuming the more experienced investors are gonna come out with some really solid picks, but that's up to you, okay? So watch the video. We go through basic fundamentals that you should scan for to pick a solid company, okay? Obviously, since this is not just a short-term investment competition, it's both short and long-term, you wanna try to focus on fundamentals, okay? On top of that, you wanna try to pick a stock that has some decent outlook, right? Meaning that it's not all priced into this point, okay? I'm assuming that a decent chunk of you guys are going to go for what's hot right now, like SPACs, blockchain stocks, anything crypto related really, and maybe even a couple of these electric vehicle stocks. If that's the case, right, make sure that outlook is positive and make sure that there's still some room for the market value to increase and not priced in at this point, okay? So don't just pick what's hot. pick something that's a pretty healthy overall company. Okay, but it's all in your hands, and it's all for a good reason, right? We do have some prizes here. First off, I want to say we have 2 different prize sets for the quarterly and annual competitions, but this is the bare minimum. We are very likely to add more prizes down the road, give honorable mentions, things like that could end up being cash prizes as well. So it's starting off as this, but to be frank with you guys, if we get enough people signing up, we will definitely up these prizes. Okay, so based off of the performance, right? If the stock does very well on a quarterly basis, then you would win. If it's on an annual basis, then you would win that as well. You can win both. Now, the first basic prize, you get a subscription to the Bowser Report. If you already have one, that just means it's going to be free. Okay, so the quarterly, you get 3 months. All right, the annual, you get a full year of the Bowser Report newsletter subscription. That includes website access, newsletter access, database access, everything across the board. Okay, now on top of that, we will be giving out a physical copy of Max Bowser's 2nd edition of Making Dollars with Pennies. Okay, great book. Let me just say this, prizes aside, competition aside, one of the best reads out there. It's simple, it's straight to the point. This was the initial founder of the Bowser Report. He had an amazing investment style, and you can still see it to this day with some of the picks that we select because it's based off of that logic. Okay, so you'll get a physical copy of that, not a digital, none of that, right? Just a physical copy. And on top of that, if you win the annual competition, you will get a custom Bowser Report shirt, and we'll make it nice and pretty for you. Okay, the design is still pending. Should be pretty fun though. Okay, so at the very least, you get the subscription, you get a physical copy of that book, which is timeless in my opinion. And then on top of that, you get the custom Bowser Report shirt. Okay, so all you got to do, go back through, fill out that form by Friday, January 15th. Okay, Friday, January 15th, and you should be good to go. You got a chance at winning some of those prizes. Okay, we will be announcing the winners via social media and contacting via email. So don't use a fake email like badinvestor129. Okay, actually that might be your real email, but don't use a fake email or anything because that's partially how it'll be announced. Okay, but happy investing, guys. Good luck if you do try out the competition, and hopefully you can win some good prizes. All right, let's see those stock picks. Take care, folks.